I want to share with you the story of why I do what I do, because it's a story that not only changed my life, it saved my life. It's my story. So here we go. After what we'll call a challenging childhood, I ran away from home to join the theatre. And for 15 years, I lived the life of an itinerant performer, singing and dancing and acting my way around the country before settling down to do a proper job. Now, a proper job for me was setting up a small events and communication company with friends, which over 17 years grew to be a large marketing and communication agency, which we sold in 2007 for a lot of money. But by then, despite having everything that we're told we need for a dream life, my life fell apart. After years of struggling with a desperate need for affirmation and external recognition and material success, when I achieved it, I was confronted by the painful truth that no matter how much I wanted all of this external stuff to fill the open wound deep inside me, it wasn't going to do it. And the traumas of my childhood that I had thought long buried cracked open. And as this supposedly high-achieving, successful guy, there was no one that I dared turn to with what I saw as the truth of just how inadequate I was. And I fully broke apart. I spiraled down into addiction and depression and sank into places that I never thought I'd end up in. It would take many years, 2 stints in rehab, and time in a secure psychiatric ward to climb out of that black hole that I'd dug for myself. And it was at this darkest of times that, perhaps not surprisingly, I began wondering, how does this world we live in really work? How was it that after achieving so much, my life had fallen apart so spectacularly because rather than fulfilling me, all the material possessions and the external success actually just amplified how empty I was. So I had to go back into that darkness in the hope of finding some light. So I began exploring and researching the broadest possible perspectives, ancient intuitive wisdom, philosophy, Buddhism, and enlightened perspectives on one side, and psychology, neuroscience, behavioral science, even quantum physics on the other, and all of it in pursuit of ways to find a path that would lead to a life that I wanted to live. And slowly, that path began to emerge. As a speaker and a coach, I started using what I was learning and discovering to help other people and organizations grow and develop. And as I did that, I began to realize that the more I helped others, the better I began to feel about myself. It was the first glimpse of real light in what was even then a shadow life lived behind the spotlight of the me that I presented to the world. And I wanted to go deeper. I wanted to find out what becomes possible when we go into and through all of those things that we spend a lifetime running from. So I completely decoupled myself from my old life and moved here to Portugal. And I spent hours a day in silent retreats, meditating, reading, watching, listening, studying, and writing. And what emerged was a deep and profound knowing that the more I helped others move toward their version of a fulfilling life of meaning and purpose, the more I found myself living a life beyond my wildest dreams. But more important than even that, through these insights, The work that I now do enables me to make a small contribution to the most important endeavour that we human beings have ever undertaken. The evolution of our consciousness as a species, and that is not just about creating the kind of lives we would love to live. It's about creating the kind of world we would all love to live in. What a wonderful place. I'll see you there.